Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Truth Report. Today, we're going to be talking about a very important topic: youth exodus. Should they stay or should they go? Every week, nearly every day, we're seeing a passport or visa being shared on social media, showing how some of the youth are deciding to leave for greener pastures. But is it really the best thing for South Africa, for the youth to leave? Should they stay and try and change the system from within? That's what we're going to be debating today. And speaking of we, I am joined by Lelethu, a fellow content creator at the Truth Report. Let's get into this topic, man.
Yes, Joe. And obviously, to answer your question, the youth, they should leave, right? Because we are facing an unemployment crisis in South Africa, uh, more specifically, youth unemployment. It's around 46%, far more worse in rural provinces like the Eastern Cape and the Northwest as well. I think it's close to 50%. So I do think the youth they need to look for other opportunities elsewhere, and because it's not only affecting the uneducated or the unskilled, it's affecting everyone. And all I'm saying is that the government is looking at this problem as an opportunity to keep them in power, right? Rolling out more social grants to the youth, as we see with the 370 grant that they get on a monthly basis. So instead of them fixing the economy, they are rolling out this state dependency and patronage.
I agree with you to some degree from an emotional standpoint as a parent, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers can maybe relate. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see your child leave. You want them. Trust me, I want my child to have the best opportunities. Let's also be honest about certain things, right? Like there's definitely favoritism for certain races in South Africa. If you're white, if you're a white student, you're less likely to get a job already in a very difficult situation, right? So it's difficult for every race to get, especially the youth, to get
Yeah.
a job. But it's even more so if you're not the right skin color. Do you think it's worth it for a youth to maybe stay and fight the system to make it a better opportunity for others?
Yes, I think they've tried. They've tried. I mean, you've got a number of young people that have started businesses, but can't get access to funding, whether it's private funding or even government funding, and so on. So it's extremely difficult for them to create an income in South Africa. You know, they've exhausted all avenues, right? So I do think. The most important thing is getting an income, right? And as you know, we don't have that much risk capital in South Africa to fund entrepreneurs. And on the other side as well, the job market is a bit, it's a bit difficult getting in.
What's the reason why there's a slow economy? What's the reason why the youth can't find employment?
The policies that are being rolled out by the African National Congress don't favor growth, right? We have seen that. That's why they've rolled out this red carpet of state dependency, whether it's state employment, social grants, and so on. Are they actually making the environment conducive for investors to come and invest? How do we change these policies so that it can favor growth? I know they talk about mostly transformation. We need to transform. But what are you going to transform if there's nothing? you know,
Transforming everyone to be poor. That's what they.
yeah, exactly, right? So, firstly, it's government. The other thing is also the education, the quality of
Sure.
our education,
Yeah.
right?
Your public schools are in absolute disarray. You know, there's teachers that don't even come to class sometimes. Some students don't even have books or textbooks or anything like that. They also uh, don't even have a desk in some of these places, right? So the principal don't care, and when teachers don't show up, they still get paid, even though
Mhm.
they didn't show up and they didn't teach the kid anything. Plus, there's a safety issue in some. I mean, I don't know if you've heard about the school mafia. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah.
where these gangsters come in and they say, "Oh, you got to pay us for protection,"
Extort. Mm,
which is
protection
ridiculous.
fee in a school,
Yeah,
nocha. Yeah,
yeah. So
it's
the
crazy.
level of corruption that has infiltrated the education system is immense. And now, just recently,
Yeah.
the Department of Education released a bit of a press release saying that if you are here in South Africa, if you are a South African citizen, right, and you want to
Yes.
get your child into school, you have to provide a unabridged birth certificate,
Okay.
IDs, and so basically proof of identification and documents, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
that's for normal,
Mm,
everyday, average, law-abiding citizen.
yeah.
But if you're here illegally or undocumented, the
Mm,
school must still take you. The double standard that
yeah, the
exists with
double
that,
standard.
right?
Yeah.
We should be funneling as much resources as we can into the public education system,
Mm,
making sure that we build more schools as well,
yeah, on the
you know,
infrastructure
and the
side as well.
infrastructure is there. I do think that there is opportunity for some of these kids and youth
Mm,
to find work, to look at social media, for example.
yeah, they. Mm,
We at Truth Report have that search for a new podcaster, right? A new
yes, yes.
voice,
A new
right?
voice. Mm,
They could maybe, I mean, take interest in that,
mm,
research how to do a podcast a little bit. I mean, like
yeah.
the internet's at your fingertips. Whether you have a phone, you can go to internet cafe if you don't have a computer
Yes.
at home. There's
You're quite
ways
right.
around it. And I know some people are going to say, yeah, but that costs money. Ask a family member to give you 100 rand,
Ah,
you
yeah,
know?
it's the entitlement. You're quite
Yes.
right. The youth is entitled as well in a way.
Exactly.
But yeah, you are.
There is that sense of entitlement
Yeah, there is.
in some of these youth, and sometimes you've just gotta think outside the box and be like, "Okay, I see this opportunity at Truth Report. They're
Yeah,
looking for a
exactly.
voice.
Mm.
What do I need to do in order to get it?" And that doesn't have to be with just Truth Report. It can be with any job, right? I
Mm.
mean, I've often spoken to some youths that I've encountered and us that also told me, "I can't find a job, Joe."
Yeah,
Um, and I'm like, "Well, have you thought of maybe going to a business and saying, 'Listen,
yeah.
I will work for you and do certain things for you, within the business
Mm.
for free. I'll
For
come in
free.
every day, but I wanna learn your business. If I
Yes.
deliver and if I become better and
Mm.
if you're impressed with my work and my ethics and all that stuff,
Mm.
will you offer me a job?'" And then the owner or the businessman or manager can say, "You know what? Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
I'll
do
take.
that," you know?
Yeah.
There are ways to prove yourself. There are ways to beat the system. But, what do you think is holding people back from doing that?
Yeah, I think it's also the political leadership, right? Because obviously, if the political leadership is saying, we will create jobs, we will give you this, we will do this, it creates an entitled mindset in a way, right? So I do think, the youth they need to look for other, avenues in creating income. Whether, for example, they are selling things, and that's one thing, right? If you do not have a job, sell something, right? You can sell a service, you can sell. I mean, we live in a digital world now. Just get in front of a camera and start selling or marketing and doing something. But obviously, the government on their side, they are not communicating this truth that look, we can't give you jobs. Start, you know. So yeah, I think there is also that the mentality of entitlement that look, I've got a degree in this, I'm entitled to a job. If you look at, for example, employment in South Africa, it's mostly administrative skills, right? So I think they need to look at technical skills in getting in these sectors like IT, information technology. There's just quite a whole lot
Mhm.
there. Software development, systems engineer, and so on, right? And they have to look what's actually valuable in the market, not what I like sometimes. I think they should also have a look at that. We've seen a whole lot of factories that have been closing down,
Yeah.
right? Especially in the Eastern Cape. If you look at the Eastern Cape in the automobile manufacturing,
Mm.
Goodyear has closed,
Mhm.
950 jobs down the drain,
Yep.
right? I think Mercedes-Benz is also, going through a restructuring. So if we do not have a strong manufacturing base where we produce things here in South Africa, right, then we've got a big problem because we are actually deindustrializing now.
Yes.
Than actually,
Decolonizing.
yeah, decolonizing. Yeah, you can look at that. Yeah, so I think we need more factories that can absorb this labor, right?
If you're sitting there right now and you're angry, you're frustrated with what's going on in South Africa, and you're a youth that you can't find a job, there's no opportunity, don't get angry with guys like me and Lelethu who are telling you the truth.
Mm.
You need to get angry with the government because, yes, the government is supposed to give you jobs indirectly. They're supposed to make an environment that is
Conducive.
sustainable,
Mm.
and encourages investment from overseas.
Mm.
Doesn't allow for factories to close down. A booming economy. When you have a booming economy, there's more opportunity for jobs. And then, second to that, and maybe first actually, is fixing the education system so that those that want to pursue engineering, want to pursue
Mm.
um, construction,
Oh,
whatever they want
sorry.
to pursue,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Have the ability to go through the schooling system, university, so on and so forth, and come out skilled,
Exactly.
and then the world's your oyster because now you have a huge economy and people looking for young, energetic people to fulfill the job. That is what you will find in other countries, right? That's
Mm.
why you have people going to Netherlands or England or Australia or
Dubai.
Dubai, USA, because those
Mm.
economies are strong and vibrant.
Yes,
They do
yes.
not discriminate. They do not try and funnel certain individuals. They create that those economies create opportunities. So, at the end of this conversation,
The
what do you think? Should you leave or stay if you're a youth that's unemployed?
Definitely, they should leave. Definitely, if there are opportunities overseas that they can seize, definitely they should leave and come back to South Africa after 5 years or 6 years and plow back with a skill. So I do think, but obviously they need to also be politically active in holding the government accountable. Next year we've got elections, the
Uh-huh,
local elections, municipal elections. They need to vote,
uh-huh.
come out and vote, vote for alternatives because this government we've given them how many years now? 30,
31, yeah, something
30,
like that.
31. So they need to look for alternatives. In that there are quite a whole lot of other parties that have potential. Just give someone else a chance.
Take the challenge of, okay, I've been dealt these cards. It doesn't look pretty. It doesn't look easy, but you can. You can break the mold. You can get out of it. And I think that's also something important is that you can make a difference and you can get out of that situation that you're in. Having said that, don't forget that right now there's an opportunity at Truth Report. We're looking for a new young podcaster, a new voice. So please go to Truth Report's social media, find out more details and how you can enter and perhaps be the next voice in South Africa on our beautiful and truth telling platform that is Truth Report. My name is Joe Emilio. I was joined by Lelethu. Um, Once again, guys, leave us comments in the comment section. Do you agree with what we said? Do you disagree with what we said? Do you have any solutions? And do you have any kids that have left? Or are you a youth that has left South Africa? Let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, share it far and wide, and subscribe to the Truth Report. Once again, your Truth Report is in.